years. In 1995, it only had domestic production. In television, it only had network production. It only owned 50% of the 2 cable channels. In music, it was really a domestic label and then had its product distributed by other record companies outside the U.S. and had a very small interactive business. Then 7 years later, in the film side, it went into local production internationally and international television production with Film Group. In television production, it not only had network production, but it had talk shows like Jerry Springer and Maury and Phil Donahue, so that brings up the quality, although the Donahue show's off the air at this point. And first-run syndication, like Blind Date, Fifth Wheel, those kind of shows. On the network side, it owned 100% of the USA Network channel, 100% of the Sci-Fi channel. It owned 100% of Trio and NWI, and it had 5 carriage puts, which means the opportunity to launch 5 channels with EchoStar, and that would provide a good starting place for creating channels. In the theme parks, it went from being just a domestic theme park business to having a European theme park and a theme park in Asia. So it was building out the theme park business. And then in the entertainment software, it had really come a long way and was one of the leading providers of entertainment game software to retail. So a big move over the course of that 7-year period in terms of rounding out the picture of Universal. And it compared on the content creation side very favorably with its peers. I think a lot of people don't know it because, quite frankly, Universal has not done a great job of branding itself, or has not done a good enough job of branding itself, but it is the leading entertainment provider of software to retail. Now, you wouldn't think that. You would probably think Disney or Warner's, but in fact, it's Universal. And it's largely driven by the size of the music, but also the size of the film business, and it also distributes DreamWorks product. In that combination, it has one of the biggest libraries in the world and the biggest episodic television library. So Universal, when it comes to content creation, really is one of the powerhouses in the entertainment industry. But it did have 2 gaping holes, and that is it doesn't have a network, a broadcast network, where others do, and that's a very important asset. And with vertical integration, Universal's television production has been squeezed. And it doesn't have cable operations, and I think that's also an important asset for an entertainment company. But if you look at it, it's not a bad place to start. And I would say also, just as I'm talking about the reasons I got into this was, helping to create that company. I was very concerned about it being taken apart and sold off in pieces. I had a long history with Lew Wasserman and Sid Sheinberg, and so I wanted to keep these assets together. And I thought, in looking at its competitive set, no reason